Baruch chapter 3, verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from Yahweh our power. All right, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai. I want to give double honors to the apostles at Great Millstone who rule well, and I also want to say peace and blessings to the elect. All right, I'm Zahab, GMS, Mississippi Camp, Spirit Wind, Judah. And today I want to go into my second installment of the lesson, oppression. All right, because, once again, oppression doesn't simply means or exclusively means that you are on a plantation picking cotton. Oppression simply means to press. All right. In the modern way that Esau is oppressing us or pressing us is he created a system, a structure within his kingdom that'll keep the 12 tribes from excelling in America, man. All right. Proof of that is Black Wall Street, when Jay came together and built an economy that was progressing faster than Esau's economy within his country. He literally bombed them. He bombed them, man. Dropped bombs from airplanes. Same thing with Rosewood. But to get to the lesson, Esau created a system that that kept Jacob at the bottom. An example is minimum wage. Another example is the penitentiary. All right. But I'm just going to explain it with the scriptures. This is Baruch 3 and 8 again. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us. All right. And the main scatter was in America, for a reproach and a curse. Yeah, we're the underdogs of America. And to be subject to payments. You're subject to bills, man. Bills is a form of oppression. All right. Esau has it set up for the 12 tribes, mainly the 12 tribes, to maintain a peasant status. All right. By paying them minimum wage or a little more than minimum wage. So he gives you the money to basically put the gas in your car, pay for food, which turns to energy. All right. And pay for hopefully an apartment. All right. But by the time you pay those payments, which you are subject unto, you're broke, which leaves you dependent to go back to Esau, which goes back into the scripture in Deuteronomy, where you're going to serve your enemy for hunger and thirst and want of all things, man. It's a circle. It's a system. It's a cycle. All right. According to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from Yahweh our power. Because this is basically a punishment of our forefathers, man. Or what we did back in the ancient world. All right. And from there, I'm going to go to Lamentations chapter 5, verse 4. It says, Lamentations 5 and 4, we have drunken our water for money. Our wood is sold unto us. And if you look down here, it further expounds on what it means when it says, we have drunken our water for money. And it says, must pay for the water we drink. All right. Must pay for the water we drink. Now, do you have a water bill in your apartment or your house? Yes, you do. In some places, people pay several $100s a month for their water bill. All right. Heck, you got to go to Walmart or Kroger's to buy bottled water, or another exclusive store to buy a high level of water, man. Because the water that comes out of your sink is basically cesspool water, man. It's water that they so-called cleansed out or purified at a cesspool and sent it right back to the grid, man. All right. And basically, the average American is a grid slave. All right. We have drunken our water for money. Our wood is sold unto us. All right. And that's the point, man. All right. You have to pay for your necessities. Esau gave you minimum wage, and he paid you a little more than minimum wage to basically cover your necessities. But here's a wake-up call. You're not supposed to spend half of your life on a job or half of your day on a job to cover your necessities. That's called oppression. When you work 2-3 jobs, you're oppressed. When you got a job plus a side hustle to catch up with your payments or to do extra stuff, you're oppressed, man. All right. Because Esau set it up Esau set it up to where you can't elevate in this society, man. That's why they had this phrase, they're always trying to keep the so-called black man down. All right, but it's not just the so-called black man; it's the black, Hispanic, and Native American man. All right, which would make up the Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, from there I'm going to get Proverbs 22. All right, it's a lot. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 7. It says, Proverbs 22:7. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. All right, it says the rich ruleth over the poor. Who's the rich? The elites. And it says the borrower is servant to the lender. All right, who's the guy that borrows? Is you. When you get out a student loan to go to college, all right, which is one of the biggest rackets in America. All right, when you get a personal loan, all right, once you get a credit card, but ultimately, once you get a mortgage, all right, you're servant to the lender. And who's the lender? The bank, man, which I broke down through the spirit in the first oppression lesson. All right, when you borrow something, what are you borrowing in this day and age? More than likely a loan. And then you're a servant and you're oppressed because what happens is they have an interest on a loan, man. All right, and the interest rate increases if you can't pay the payment on that loan. But that's a form of oppression. All right, that's not how it's supposed to be. Over 80% of Americans are in debt, and out of that 80%, 44% are in debt because of their home ownership, which coincidentally or ironically, they don't own the homes. That's why they're in debt, because they got a loan from the bank, a so-called mortgage from the bank, and now they're paying that loan off or that mortgage off to the bank. All right. And just to further expound on that, I'm going to get Deuteronomy. All right. Deuteronomy, the 23rd chapter and the 19th verse. It says, Deuteronomy 23:19. Thou shalt not lend upon usury to thy brethren, usury of money, usury of victuals, usury of anything that is lent upon usury. And what's usury? It's interest. It's taxes, man. It's an interest rate. All right. So the banking system in America is illegal, basically, man. We are in Esau's monopoly world, man. This is Esau's little monopoly game, man. All right. But from there, I'm going to close it out with Baruch chapter 4, verse 25. It says, my children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from Yahweh, for thine enemy has persecuted thee. And part of that persecution now is this oppression that I broke down, man, through the spirit. But shortly thou shalt see his destruction, because you see Trump's in office and he's making moves. And really, when he starts to put his foot down and put his foot up, Israel, when you see the time of Jacob's trouble, which is more than likely going to be forefronted by Trump, that's when Esau is going to intervene, man. Because the Most High got to wipe out the 2/3. But to keep everything into perspective with this lesson, all right, this is the persecution that we're suffering based on what we did in the ancient world, and that was we broke the covenant of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, pursuant to Deuteronomy the 28th chapter. That was the penalty for the contract that we kept between us and Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction, because shortly we're going to see America get destroyed, man. And if you're part of the 1/3, you're going to see America get destroyed by way of a chariot, man. You're going to be looking down from a so-called spaceship, and shall tread upon his neck, because prior to that, man, there's going to be race wars, man. All right, and we really going to we're going to let Esau have it, man. Was it Michael 5:7? We're going to be like lions, and Esau's going to be like poor little sheep, man. I'm going to read that again, Baruch 3:25. My children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from Yahweh, for thy enemy have persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction, and shall tread upon thy neck. And tread upon his neck. But with that, I hope you brothers are edified. Into the next lesson. Shalom.